Why it's better to be feared than loved. Machiavelli's harsh truth. Be honest. Have you ever been disrespected for being too kind? Be honest. Have you ever tried your best to be kind, loyal, and respectful, only to be ignored, rejected, or even humiliated? Have you ever tried to be loved, hoping that love would make people stay, and yet they still left? Have you ever lowered your voice, compromised your needs, swallowed your pride, just to keep the peace? And in the end, what did you get? They walked away. They stopped respecting you. They took you for granted. That's not your fault. But maybe, just maybe, you were playing the wrong game. You chose to be loved, when you should have chosen to be feared. Machiavelli once said, "If you cannot be both loved and feared, then it is better to be feared." Not because he glorified cruelty, but because he understood a brutal truth. Love is temporary. Fear is reliable. Love draws people close. Fear keeps them from betraying you. You don't need to be violent, but you must be someone they dare not cross. You don't need to threaten anyone, but they must feel the weight of consequences if they disrespect you. Otherwise, you'll keep living the same cycle. Too kind to be taken seriously, too soft to be respected, too patient to be heard. It's time to wake up. And if this speaks to something buried deep inside of you, hit subscribe to Fire Within Tales, because what you're about to hear might just shift the way you hold your power. Exposing the truth. Here's the truth you were never told. Most people don't respect kindness. They exploit it. They don't admire your silence. They take it as weakness. They don't value your loyalty. They expect it while giving you nothing in return. They don't love you for your patience. They test how much you'll tolerate before you break. Why? Because the world doesn't reward good intentions. It rewards strong boundaries. They say they want a man who listens, a man who gives. But when you give too much, they say you're clingy. When you open your heart, they say you're too emotional. When you forgive again and again, they call you soft. You see, people don't test the strong. They test the quiet. They test the kind. They test the ones who need love to feel worthy. And when they realize you're afraid to be alone, afraid to upset them, afraid to walk away, that's when you lose all power. Machiavelli wasn't teaching cruelty. He was warning you. If you base your worth on being loved, you hand over control of your life, because love can be withdrawn. Respect, once lost, is almost never returned. But fear? Fear creates a barrier. Fear makes them think twice. Fear forces them to consider the consequences before they cross you. Being feared doesn't mean being hated. It means being untouchable. It means people know you stand for something, and you don't bend. It means they know hurting you comes with a cost, and that's when true respect begins. You've been told to be nice, to be forgiving, to be understanding. But no one told you that in a world full of manipulation, niceness without strength is a setup for suffering. It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about remembering who you were before the world taught you to shrink. You don't need to become cold, but you do need to become clear. Clear about what you will and will not accept. Clear about who you are, even when no one claps for you. Clear about the fact that being loved is a bonus, not a requirement. Stop seeking validation. Stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to be understood by people who benefit from misunderstanding you. The first step to reclaiming your power is silence. Not the silence of fear. The silence of someone who no longer needs to prove anything. The silence of someone who has nothing to beg for, nothing to chase. Let them think you've become distant. Let them wonder why you don't call. Let them sit with the weight of your absence. Because your energy is no longer free. It has a price. Respect is no longer optional, and anyone who can't give it doesn't get access to you. Start walking with boundaries so firm that people feel them before they even speak. Let your no mean no, Let your silence speak louder than your apologies ever did. Let your presence command attention, not because you're loud, but because you're unshakable. You don't need to change your heart, but you must guard it. Because kindness without strength invites harm, and forgiveness without standards invites repeat offenders. This is the shift, from seeking love to earning respect, from being available to everyone to being selective with your time, from wanting to be liked to choosing to be respected, even if it makes others uncomfortable. The goal isn't to be feared for being cruel, it's to be respected for being unwavering, to be untouchable in your self-worth, to be someone they cannot manipulate, cannot guilt, cannot use. That is when they stop testing you, because they know exactly what happens when they do. The shift begins. From this moment forward, you will no longer apologize for your strength. You will no longer explain your silence. You will no longer water yourself down to make others comfortable. You are not here to be loved by everyone. You are here to live with power, with clarity, with boundaries. They will call you distant. Let them. They will say you've changed. Good. They will say you've become harder. They're right. Because the old version of you, the one who bent, broke, begged, he's gone. He had to die so that you could finally rise. You are not angry. You are alert. You are not bitter. You are built. Built by every betrayal. Built by every moment you kept quiet. Built by every time you gave more than you should have. And now? Now you walk differently. You speak less. You demand more. And most of all, you protect your peace like your life depends on it. Because it does. No more hoping to be chosen. No more shrinking to fit into someone else's comfort zone. No more begging for bare minimum respect. You don't need to be loved to be powerful. You just need to be feared enough that disrespect never feels like an option to them again. And that is the kind of man no one plays with. Now you have a choice. You can go back to who you were, or you can become what they never saw coming. If you're ready to stop begging and start building, if you're ready to be feared, not for your cruelty, but for your clarity, then leave a comment below that says, I choose respect over approval. Not for the algorithm. For you. To mark the moment you stopped explaining yourself. To declare silently and fiercely that from now on, they don't get the old you. And if you know a man out there who's still breaking himself to be loved, send him this video. Because the world doesn't need more nice guys. It needs more men who know their worth and protect it. This is Fire Within Tales. And this is your reminder. You don't need to be loved by everyone. You just need to be respected by yourself.